three things that destroyed Greenwood, Black Tulsa. Urban renewal, the highway system. If you notice the highways, every highway, major highway is what for? All of them intersect over Greenwood. They started building the highway system here in the 50s. And all of the businesses, the main part of Greenwood, they had to close down because it takes years to build highways. So the highway system,
where we can go down Greenwood.
No problem.
desegregation and urban renewal killed Greenwood.
And what's the third thing?
Desegregation.
Okay.
Desegregation, urban renewal, the highway system.
Okay, so on all three of those points, where you are right now, when we go back down here, and you'll see where there's a cutoff where the highway starts and the buildings that are remaining. The president of the Greenwood Chamber of Commerce in the 1970s actually got down in the middle of the street, kind of like Tiananmen Square, just as they were about to tear down all of those buildings. He got on a plane, went to Washington, D.C., made a deal, actually with the Republican Party. He had to switch affiliation, and they gave him $1 million to save those buildings. So that's why those are still there. And they're actually not separate buildings. They're just two buildings there. Those are storefronts. Those are the fronts of the buildings that were there. But the actual shops are not there. Those are just the fronts. They did a cut through the front. As far as the highway system, yes, that happened all over the country for all black communities.
And it was deliberate.
They deliberately did that. And they actually started planning it in the 1950s. It was finally delivered here in the 1970s. Then, what was the third thing that you said? Urban renewal. Oh, gosh. So, urban renewal...
Roberta.
Yeah. And actually, they're starting a third urban renewal now. So, urban renewal went a little like this. First of all, tearing down Greenwood, but some of our, we did not, North Tulsans had no political representation until 1990. And in 1990, North Tulsa born Hubert Bryant invited Thurgood Marshall here, and they started working on a lawsuit against the city of Tulsa because we had never had representation. Hubert Bryant had been made assistant attorney general by the Carter administration. They worked on the lawsuit. We will not go past the office where they work, but it is also just a few miles from here. Anyway, in order to avoid the lawsuit, the city of Tulsa created the city council system, giving North Tulsa 2 representatives out of 9. That was just recently gerrymandered to 1 representative. But how that fits into urban renewal is then funds that were sent to redevelop North Tulsa that were supposed to be, I guess it's explained as, we put in the highway, this is what we're going to do in exchange for the highway. That money went to build actually other cities. People, they found out that people literally got on the city council in order to build other cities. So still with the same spirit that rebuilt Greenwood afterwards, what you're going through right now is still Greenwood, still North Tulsa. We're going to turn right? Yeah. There's the Ellis Walker Woods Memorial. This land had been set aside for Langston University. You saw the name Edwin McCabe. Edwin McCabe founded the town of Langston and the university. Langston is, we're going to come up, look to your left, and you will see Langston, Tulsa coming up.
This is not that big.
So this area, all I'm trying to say is this still, everything that you're going through now is still the extension of Greenwood. You're in North Tulsa. You would be in it for miles and miles and miles and miles in every direction. And so don't think it's gone. That's what I'm trying to say. Despite whatever anybody's tried to do. Langston is building a new nursing school.
Wow.
Langston does not own Langston anymore.
OSU
OSU
owns it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But,
So that's what I was talking about. The third urban renewal
Right.
going on right now. So we're in the middle of it.
and about urban renewal, when you make people move to new locations, you destroy community.
Yeah.
Community is people that have lived together for generations, that know each other, that
But
trust each
speaking
other.
of community, look at the homes that you're seeing right now.
Oh.
These homes were developed by First Baptist North, a lot of them First Baptist North Tulsa. And those were the people who came here in 1899. First Baptist North Tulsa opened. And they really are the start of North Tulsa.
Wow.
And to be frank, Tulsa.
Uh-huh.
The land that actually is Tulsa was mainly in the name of Creek newborns and freedmen. So,
When you say Creek newborns, is that Creek Indians? The newborns.
so the Muskogee Nation.
Okay.
If you'll slow down just a little, this is to the left of you, First Baptist North Tulsa now. It was originally south of the museum that you visited, but that is now the school to the right is Carver Middle School, and that's one of our first middle schools. My mother even went to that school.
Oh, awesome.
Okay, and so now we can turn right, and when we turn right to the left, you're going to see Morton, which was the Black Hospital. So pretty much everybody born before us, I think maybe the 1960s, was probably born in that hospital, because it was still illegal for black doctors to work in white hospitals until the 1970s.
Wow.
But these homes too, my cousins live like over there. I mean, this is all.
I forwarded it to you.
So this was
the
Morton,
hospital.
this was the hospital, and they're just getting ready to redo that. We are coming to Rudisill Regional Library right now. This is the library named after Freddie Martin Rudisill. And lunch. And lunch.
I just wanted to mention one thing about desegregation.
Well, stand up and say it, Doc, so they can hear you.
Can you? No, I can't stand it.
Okay, well, wait till.
Desegregation, the reason desegregation killed Greenwood is because before desegregation, the black dollar circulated 50 times around Tulsa before it left Tulsa. So going from the pharmacy to the grocery store to the hairdresser, that wealth stayed within the 36 blocks.
Wow.
And then when desegregation came and they could shop across town, the dollar stopped circulating. And so businesses went out of business.
Right.
And to add to that, desegregation also, the way that Tulsa desegregated was to fire its black teachers. So they fired over 400 black teachers. There goes your middle class. There goes
Exactly.
the community.
And that was everywhere, all over the South, and
Yeah.
including Oklahoma.
That's what the term there goes the neighborhood.
Well, and yeah.
Yeah.
And
What neighborhood?
so, yeah, I had a young woman tell me the other day that she was in the first fully integrated class and it was at Booker T. Washington High School, and she graduated almost in 1990.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Wow.
you're right about the desegregation part too.